October 2015, CIA Headquarters, Virginia. John Brennan receives a call from an unknown number. The caller sounds like a child and tells John that he has hacked all the systems of the CIA. This call would have been considered a prank if it had been made to an ordinary person. But John Brennan was, at that time, the director of the CIA, the most powerful intelligence agency in the world. Calling him was one thing, but even knowing his personal mobile number was an extremely serious matter. This is the story of two children who hacked the entire CIA system and made a superpower like the United States dance to their tune. Who were these children, and why and how did they pull off this unbelievable operation? Once again, welcome to USA Doc Videos. When John Brennan asks the caller about his demands, the child says that the United States should stop its attacks in the Middle East, especially in Palestine, and let the world live in peace. Even before this phone call, the CIA had already discovered that their system had been hacked. How dangerous this hacking was for the CIA and the United States will become clear as you move further into the video. As soon as the call ends, the entire American government and the CIA go into action. The fact that a child had hacked such a massive intelligence agency was a moment of great embarrassment for the CIA. It is important to note that CIA agents only consider themselves defeated if their identities are exposed. Inside the CIA headquarters in Langley, Virginia, there is even a Starbucks branch. The coffee cups given to officers have no logo and no agent's name written on them. The reason is that the cups should not be traced back to the agents. Now imagine how careful the CIA is about small details, and then consider how big a deal it was for their entire system to be hacked. When the investigation started, it was discovered that the call had been made from Leicester, England, by a 15-year-old boy. This boy called himself Kraka. He had created a hacking community called Crackers with Attitude. But how and why did he hack the CIA? To understand this, we need to go a little further back to the year 2008, where this story actually begins. In 2008, in the U.S. state of Virginia, there was another boy known online as Default. He was extremely passionate about video games. To win games, he started making changes by entering the game programming itself. He modified online games like Counter-Strike according to his own rules, and won very easily. In simple terms, he created cheats. He started controlling things his own way, and he learned all of this from the internet. Default got his inspiration from the famous hacking group Anonymous, which had become very popular by 2008. At that time, Anonymous frequently made headlines. This group raised its voice by hacking major websites and displaying its own messages on them. After seeing all this, Default was deeply impressed by Anonymous and decided to step into the world of hacking himself. Slowly and gradually, Default started hacking small websites. But he wanted to do something bigger, and for that, he needed a hacking group. As a result, Default joined a hacking group called ANONSEC. This group had already hacked several websites before. Most of their hacking activities were done for political purposes. ANONSEC used botnets, meaning they spread viruses over the internet. Any computer infected by the virus would come under ANONSEC's control. Such infected computers are called bots, and the entire network of these computers is known as a botnet. Because Default was a member of ANONSEC, he also had access to this botnet. He noticed that one of the computers in the botnet belonged to a medical college in Canada. Default worked a little on that computer and gained access to the medical college's financial records. He discovered that the school still had to collect more than $9 million from students. All these records were now in Default's possession, and he deleted them from the college's system. Default's first major hacking attempt was successful. Because of this, the entire administration of the medical college collapsed into chaos. This first hack was done as a prank, but the next hack was done out of anger. In 2014, the Danish government passed a shameful law according to which sexual abuse of animals was permitted. This news deeply angered animal rights activists around the world. Default himself had a dog that he loved very much. Out of anger, Default and his group hacked Denmark's official website. They wrote in large letters, "Do you know that your government allows abuse of animals?" Not only this, but Default also used the botnet to attack and shut down all websites that supported this law. Because Denmark's official website was hacked, the issue spread worldwide. People around the world began condemning Denmark's decision. Eventually, the Danish government could not tolerate the pressure. The very next year, they were forced to withdraw this law. For the first time, Default had successfully achieved his objective. However, people started giving credit to the anonymous group for this hack. At that time, Anonymous was the hacking group that always made headlines. Default did not like this at all, that he did something so big, yet someone else was taking the credit. Still, he did not give up and continued his work. Like other hackers, Default never revealed his identity. He knew that if he was ever traced because of hacking, the consequences would be extremely severe. He never used his home Wi-Fi. Instead, he purchased a satellite internet connection and installed it far away from his house. From there, he accessed the internet at home through a private network. His computer was extremely secure. Due to the high level of security, it took 30 minutes just to boot up. But for the sake of his privacy, he had no problem waiting that long. So far, you have learned about only two characters in this story. One is Kraka, who lived in England. The other is Default, who lived in the USA. 2013. Before this, they did not know each other at all. But an incident occurred that brought both of them together. Edward Joseph Snowden was working as a computer intelligence consultant at the National Security Agency. While working on an American government project, he discovered that the CIA secretly collects and stores the data and private information of every internet user. This data is then used for their own purposes, while users remain completely unaware of it. Edward wanted to expose this secret of the CIA. However, at the same time, he was afraid that this could not be done while staying in the United States. Either he would be killed, or he would be sent to prison for leaking classified information. That is why Edward took leave and went to Hong Kong. There, in front of journalists, he exposed America's secret surveillance operations to the entire world. As soon as this news was leaked, chaos spread across the globe. People became furious after learning that their data was being used without their permission. They were also shocked to know that their every digital move was being monitored constantly. As a reaction to this revelation, Default and Kraka came into contact with each other. Both decided to teach the American government and the CIA a lesson. They wanted the CIA to feel what it is like when people's personal information gets leaked. Kraka and Default shared the same goal. Default wanted revenge against the USA for destroying the privacy of its citizens. Kraka wanted revenge for the attacks carried out in Gaza. In short, both of them had the same enemy, the American government. First, they made the phone number of the American National Intelligence Director James Clapper public. Anyone could obtain his phone number with just a simple search. Now they wanted to target someone even more high profile. They took on the mission of hacking CIA Director John Brennan. Kraka began searching for information about John Brennan on the internet. He came across a public phone number linked to Brennan. He discovered that the number was registered with Verizon, a U.S. mobile network operator. Kraka then called Verizon's internal tech team, pretending to be an employee of the same company. He told them that he was contacting them to resolve a customer's problem because there was a technical issue in the system. The Verizon team asked for a PIN code to confirm his identity. Kraka had already hacked and obtained that PIN code. After verification, Verizon shared John Brennan's personal details with Kraka. Now Kraka had Brennan's account number, backup mobile number, home address, and even the last 4 digits of his bank card. The next step was hacking Brennan's email account. He found out that Brennan's email recovery system required the last 4 digits of his card. Those digits were already in Kraka's possession. In this way, Kraka immediately gained access to John Brennan's email address. Now the personal email account of the CIA director was in Kraka's control. He opened John Brennan's private email, which contained highly important and top-secret documents. This included data of other CIA officers, their social security numbers, and instructions received from the government. By then, Brennan had also found out that his email account had been hacked. He immediately shut down the account, but it was already too late because Kraka had downloaded all the data. Kraka started publishing official documents one by one. This created massive chaos across the United States. The CIA was being humiliated worldwide. Now it became mandatory for them to catch the hackers at any cost. They wanted to arrest them as soon as possible, but they failed to obtain any solid leads. A few days after calling John Brennan, Kraka leaked the personal information of 9,000 Department of Justice employees. He also leaked the data of 20,000 FBI agents on social media. After doing all this, Kraka continued living his life normally. He believed that it was almost impossible to catch him. On the other hand, Default, who was a resident of the USA, started feeling anxious. He feared that if he was caught, his life would be completely ruined. Perhaps they would never have been caught if Default had not made one mistake. While intoxicated, he told his friend that he was behind the CIA hack. That single mistake brought downfall to both Default and Kraka. A few days later, the FBI raided Default's room and dragged him away. During interrogation, Kraka's name also surfaced. With the help of British police, Kraka was arrested as well. Kraka's real name is Kane Gamble. Default's real name is Justin Gray Liverman. Due to his young age, Kraka was sentenced to 2 years in prison. Default, who was not directly involved in hacking the CIA, was sentenced to 5 years in prison. Today, both of them are free from jail. They are now building their careers in cybersecurity. What do you think? Were they right or wrong? Do share your opinion in the comments. Hopefully you will like and share this USA doc as well. Thank you so much for your love and supportive comments. See you in the next amazing video.